A long night out with friends, good food, drinks.
I added some.
And the inevitable morning after. There's a remedy for that. A bowl of something warm, nourishing, and deeply restorative. A little something to bring us back to life. This is my Hangover kimchi soup. I make this for myself when I'm really struggling. I love going out with my friends, love a good martini. Sometimes you have to take care of yourself the next day, and this is truly what I make. It's filled with all kinds of pantry ingredients that I always have lying around, and the flavors are so bright, so strong, so healing. You can't eat this soup and feel worse after it. Usually when I'm making this soup, it's with the last dregs of the kimchi at the bottom of the jar, which means it's been in my fridge for quite a few weeks. One way to make sure that your kimchi is ripe is just to leave your jar sealed on the counter at room temperature up to 48 hours, and then your kimchi will start to like fizz, and that's when you know you have some nice lactic acid bacteria formation, and your kimchi will be a little more dank and lovely. Once you cook it just a little bit, it really mellows out and becomes this incredible flavor base. Everyone has a different hangover cure. For me, it's kimchi soup. Every Sunday, I buy a whole chicken and I boil it in a pot. I just always have homemade chicken stock on hand, and if you want the long version of this recipe, you should boil a whole chicken yourself because there's just nothing like that final broth. It lets the kimchi and the garlic and ginger shine. The backbone of this soup being chicken just feels really healing to me because I might be Korean by heritage, but I'm also American. I grew up eating it all the time, chicken noodle soup from a can. You're taking this delicious, very healing product, kimchi, all those amazing probiotics, good for your stomach, and you're just extending them into liquid, in this case, chicken stock. Garlic, I like to smash and thinly slice, and they'll be like chunky, and that's good because it will like melt into the soup, it will like soften. The ginger is equally important, if not more. It gives you the aroma. One thing I like to do is take my time to thinly slice it and then julienne it, getting nice little slivers of it. Ginger obviously also kind of settles the stomach, right? It helps to have a recipe like this in your back pocket for when you just need a little warmth. You have these very humble ingredients, but the kimchi is the main ingredient, and I think it's really nice to extend those flavors with the stuff that's already in it, which are fish sauce and gochugaru. The fish sauce gives it the umami and the salty quality. The gochugaru obviously makes it red, but it also gives it a lovely, rounded quality. Gochugaru is more than just heat, it's flavor. This soup has a magic ingredient, Tenjang. You can use miso, but I really want the world to know about Tenjang because it's this like magic fermented soybean paste that forms the backbone of so much of Korean cooking. It has a funky umami quality that just makes your mouth go like this. Tenjang with a little bit of chili, that to me is like the most healing feeling for me in my stomach as a Korean American. The beans are there for the protein because when you have a gnarly hangover, the two things that will make you feel better are protein and fructose. A can of beans is just a really easy way to get there. I love the combo of having like the canned beans with the tenjang because it tastes like you're eating the natural form of the fermented soybeans. I like to add some sweet yellow onion at the end. The onion simmered for just like 5 or so minutes at the end. It sort of bleaches out its liquid. I really like to make sure to season it assertively, right? So you can add a pinch of salt if you want. I almost always add more gochugaru at the end. I love the flavor of gochugaru that's been, simmered and freshly just like added to the top. I love using my herbs like greens. When you add a handful of cilantro, it does just give you the same kind of quality that you would get if you added a handful of arugula, a handful of minari. Not only is it giving you roughage, good for the stomach, it's also gonna give you some nice soft flavors. This soup tastes great with rice. It tastes great with noodles. I like to eat it with cornbread. When I was developing this recipe, I happened to have some cornbread lying around. A piece of kimchi-soaked cornbread is just a lovely, nourishing bite of food. I don't know that I would call this soup Korean. It's inspired by Korean techniques, but to me, it has the flavor of tom yum soup because of the cilantro. It reminds me of pho because of the thinly sliced onion at the end. My hope in mixing ingredients that are ordinarily associated with very specific cultures is to teach people that we all share the same core. Every culture has like a hangover soup. I just hope that this recipe teaches you what you're doing is building flavor and using what you have in your pantry. Your hangover soup might look a little different. The rest of the vegetables and aromatics around it, they're gonna kind of reflect what your refrigerator has. The ginger, the garlic, the kimchi, the probiotics, the protein, the minerals, the vitamins, it's gonna make you feel better. Make this when you're hungover, but also make it when you just really wanna feel good. If you want this recipe and many more, go to nytcooking.com. No, just please buy Tenjang. Don't use miso for this. Like I say Tenjang or miso, but like, man, can you please buy Tenjang? And then go to nytcooking.com, search Tenjang, and you'll see all of the many attempts I've made as a recipe developer at NYT Cooking to get Tenjang to blow up as much as gochujang has. Do I have to make a cookie for you to buy Tenjang? Please buy Tenjang. For all Koreans in the world, buy Tenjang.